Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Allie, and as you can probably tell, this week I'm taking you with me as I decorate my home for Halloween. I don't do anything in here that's gory, and I like to preface that because I understand that not everybody wants to see like the typical really scary Halloween stuff. I go with more of a traditional, fun, elegant Halloween, just more of a pretty fun way to bring Halloween into my home. And I have a good variety in this video of things that you can do that are on a larger scale or a smaller scale. So I really think no matter what your style, you're gonna find something to take away from this video that you love that's gonna help you get into the Halloween spirit. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're getting notified every time I upload a new video. Leave me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. I really always love to hear what you think. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so we are getting started on my dining table, and I have so much fun decorating for Halloween. So I'm going to show you guys several different areas in my home. And I'm kicking things off with this creepy black cloth that I'm using as a table runner. This cloth is inexpensive. I picked mine up at the dollar store, and it just adds a really nice base for the arrangement that I'm going to put together. Bringing in a pop of this greenery, I purchased this garland from Hobby Lobby, and I like that it's a very ashy kind of muted green, and I'm bringing it in here to just sort of ground all the black colors that I'm going to be using. These are two Halloween lanterns that I'm popping in, one on either side in a very symmetrical sort of layout. And already it's giving nice Halloween vibes. I like the black, I like the soft glow from the candles. And now I'm scattering in these dollar store taper candle holders. Really no rhyme or reason. I'm just sort of staggering them with all the different heights in different areas. And these are two candle holders that I picked up from Kirkland that I'm anchoring on either end. And now these are these really cool skull taper candles that I picked up from the store called At Home. And I really love the pop of metallic. If you guys know me, you know I always like to add in a pop of metallic here and there. And those metallic taper candles are just so cool. They're actually bleeding candles. So when you light them, if you choose to light them and make it a little bit extra creepy, they will drip red, which is kind of cool. So I started out, as you saw, by adding in those foam candle holders that just help secure the tapers in place, but for me they weren't actually enough. So I had the idea to sort of stuff some of that Spanish moss in each of the taper candle holders, and it actually worked out beautifully. It made them nice and snug inside the candle holders so that they stopped falling over. So if you need something similar, it just brings in another element of texture and is a nice way to secure the tapers. Now I'm going in with these two sprigs of purple eucalyptus, and I just thought that the purple would leave a really nice pop of color. It's probably a color that I wouldn't normally go for, but I think it works well with the Halloween decor and it adds a nice bit of contrast. So I just clipped off several sprigs of those, and I'm just again tucking them in sort of here and there. And now it's time to light the taper candles, and as you'll see just in a moment what they look like, that some of them will drip red if you let them burn long enough. Overall, I think that this is just such a cool display on the dining table. I love it so much. It just brings Halloween right into our kitchen area, and I think it turned out really cool. And later I added everything into my long white dough bowl just to make it easier for me to move it for when we use this table. Now I'm going to show you guys how I hang these floating taper candles. These are something that I picked up a few years ago for when my daughter had a Harry Potter party, and I wound up leaving them up through Halloween because they just look so awesome. So I'm starting by using these very small plastic command strips, and I'm just going in sort of a zigzag down my hallway downstairs. And I think that this is just a really cool way to hang these. It's a great hallway to do it. You guys will see shortly the effect of these. And I actually leave the hooks up there because I wind up hanging ornaments on them come the Christmas season. I'm also adding some hooks to this doorway. As you'll see in a minute, I'm going to be adding a Halloween garland to this doorway and also a giant dangling spider. And this is something that we've had for several years. My kids love it. I think it looks really cool. So this is the garland. It has some orange lights, and I'm just sort of hanging it very loosely. And while it was on the ground, I had added some spider webs to it. This is the dangling spider, and he has just a little hook on top. So as you'll see, I'm adding that there. And again, this is just a really cool way to anchor that hallway with all of those cool floating candles. Now I'm heading over to our entryway console table. This is what it looks like now. It's very nice and pretty for fall, but as you'll see in just a second, I'm pretty much going to remove everything except for the vases and stems in order to add in some creepy Halloween items. So I'm going to be starting out with this white gauze Halloween cloth, and I'm just going to drape that over the mirror just to give a nice creepy effect. And I also love using gauze like this because it adds texture, so it helps to soften things up, but it does so in a very creepy kind of way. So I love the stems there. They are very fall, so I'm going to leave those as is. And now I'm bringing in these 2 sets of books. They're actually little storage boxes, so I like them in the entryway because you can drop your keys in there or really use them for anything. And I'm adding in this glass skull, and into the skull is going one of the battery operated candles that I love to use. And also I'm bringing back that dual taper candle holder. Now these 2 candle holders I purchased from Ross, and I love them because I'm going to creep them up for Halloween, but you can also keep them around for other holidays, and they're just really nice staple pieces. Adding in 2 pillar candles that have that really cool coiled gold snake around them. And I just took some of that cloth that was hanging and draped it over the books. Now I'm going back to that Spanish moss, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of Spanish moss under each of the pillar candles just to add some contrast. Since the pillar candles are black and the candle holders are black, I thought this was a nice way to break that black up and also add in a little bit of a spooky element. And I decided to do the same thing for the taper candles. I'm adding in a few finishing touches to just complete the look. A couple of these spiders, I'm just hooking them right into the gauze, just tucking them in by their legs, no fancy clips needed. I'm popping in this gold aluminum pumpkin, and then I'm adding this little guy at the bottom. He is a plug-in, and he just adds a really nice soft glow. He reminds me of The Nightmare Before Christmas and adds a nice pop of Halloween to the bottom of the console table. Overall, I think this entryway turned out perfectly spooky, and I really love the look. Now I'm heading into our front room. This would have been our dining room, but if you guys have been watching my channel, you know that we converted that into like a whiskey lounge sort of room. So onto the cocktail table, I'm adding that beautiful gold candelabra. You guys know I love that candelabra so much. And then I'm adding in that large rounded textured vase there. And into the vase, I'm putting in that Halloween willow tree. It's battery operated. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to add some of that tattered gauze. So as you can see, I'm pulling up those taper candles and I'm just sort of tucking the gauze into the taper candles to just give that candelabra a nice creepy look. And I decided to add a little bit more onto the vase. So now I'm just sort of opening it up and swirling it around. No real rhyme or reason. Halloween does not need to be precise. And I added in one of those plastic skulls and a stack of coasters. I always like to add in a pop of greenery, so I added in one of those cascading stems, not into the pot, but this time just sort of tucked in to add some greenery and ground that entire Halloween setup on the cocktail table. This is one of my favorite fun Halloween things to do. I simply grabbed a large glass cloche and a bunch of Spanish moss, and I've got these creepy eyeballs that I picked up from Grandin Road a few years ago. You can style these many different ways. You can simply place them in a bowl with some Spanish moss. I like to use this glass cloche because I just think it looks really pretty up on the mantle. So as you can see, I'm just very casually stuffing these eyeballs into the cloche, very messily adding in that Spanish moss. And I like to use the Spanish moss and work with it in a large container because it just keeps the mess down to a minimum. Once you're done, you've got all these cool little eyeballs in different sizes sort of creeping out, peeking out from that glass cloche. So I'm rearranging my fall mantle a little bit just to make room for this large cloche, and I'm loving how it's looking already. So I decided to add in some more of that gauze, that creepy cloth, and I'm just sort of swooping it down and tucking it in underneath my pillar candles there. I added a tabletop plastic skeleton to the right and a few more spiders. And as you can see, it's just, I've taken what I have already had up there, something that I already styled, and I just slightly rearranged it to make way for the season of Halloween. And then once Halloween is over, it's fairly easy for me to remove those items, and now I'm left still with a beautiful fall arrangement. I did decide, however, that I wanted to take it one step further and add a little bit of Halloween garland. So I found this really cool battery operated garland on Amazon, which I linked for you below along with everything else. And I'm just going to add a small command strip so that I can keep it in place on the mantle. It was already holding pretty well, but just to make sure that it was secure. And now I feel like it looks complete. I think that the black Halloween maple leaves just ground everything. I love that they're battery operated, and overall I think that now the mantle feels fully Halloween. So now I'm doing the same thing to my coffee table. It already looks very pretty and nice for fall, so I'm just going to make a few minor swaps, add in a few things to just spook it up. One of which is this little guy. You can use him to hang him somewhere, but I just decided to wrap him around my vase so that it looks like he is hugging my vase there. And I think it just adds another nice little touch for Halloween. Some more of this tattered Halloween gauze. I'm just going to go ahead and drape it over the arrangement that I already have. So this is one of my favorite pieces, this clear glass taper hurricane, and I'm just going to drape it over there. And now I'm swapping out the candle holder that I had for a simple plastic Halloween hand that I picked up at the dollar store. And I'm just adding in that orange sort of orb looking candle holder with a tea light candle. And I'm already loving the way that it's looking. It feels much more festive. I decided now to swap out this large star pod, and just for the season of Halloween, I'm going in with these 3 different spider tea light candle holders. I found these many years ago at TJ Maxx on clearance after the season ended. I did find something similar for you, which I linked below in the description. On Amazon, it's another set of 3, and it gives the same kind of creepy vibe. If you don't feel like redecorating an entire console table or coffee table, there are so many little accents that you can do. This guy I found at HomeGoods, and I really love him. He's super cute. He's a yoga skeleton. Even just popping this at the corner of your mantle to anger things makes a really big difference and brings in the season without you having to overhaul anything. I like to do this in many different ways around the house. For example, you can use a little Halloween pillow and just pop that into your already existing fall couch decor. Again, just brings up a little bit of an element of the season without you having to go ahead and rearrange many different things. I like to do this in little corners of my home as well. So for example, I popped this little votive holder that's a little ghost into our coffee area on the corner of our kitchen counter, and it's just another nice little touch, nice little accent that makes me smile, and I didn't have to go and redo the entire countertop. Other items you can do this with are like this little crawling hand, it's battery operated. Also, this motion activated broom that will literally just move around your house and do a witch's cackle. These little things just make me happy, they make my kids happy. And again, I don't need to go rearranging a ton of stuff in my house. I can just add a little pop of this and a pop of that. I wanted to quickly pan over our console table that's outside in our covered porch and just kind of give you a little bit more inspiration here. I used a couple of items that I just got from Grandin Road, and I just spooked up our console table with some Spanish moss garland, some pumpkins, and a few other details. I really hope that you enjoyed it. That is it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this Halloween decorate with me. I hope that I've given you a lot of ideas, whether larger or smaller, so that you can bring the season into your home. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're getting notified so that you won't miss a video. Leave me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.